Right then, hopefully this time it's going to work. I just tried streaming and everything broke, but it looks like the key is working, which is fantastic, and it is showing up on Twitch, so yes, it is working. Fantastic. Ooh, stream is live. Here we go. So, we are back in from the depths. A game I have not touched for almost a year due to work commitments and it being in a constant state of update for a while, which made working on things really irritating because everything was just changing. However, everything got pretty. Nice rendery goodness over here. So let's actually load in a tester and then let's try out some of the new fancy stuff, because there have been a fair number of changes other than just the graphics. So, though the graphics is nice. Let's lower this down a little bit. I think engines aren't oppressively loud anymore, which is quite nice. Not having to, well, cause everything. Yay, it is working. Had confirmation. Other people apparently can see it. Brilliant. Though my tablet can't see it working, so I might not be able to see people chatting. Great. Oh no, there we go. It is working. Whatever. My tablet says it's disconnected, and stream is not working, but it seems to be working, so yeah, let's just ignore it. So, what have we got here? We have nice fancy things. One thing I noticed, because I had a quick look, we have all shapes for stone, which is awesome. That is very, very nice. Still not got the 2x2 corner, which is something which I would quite like, rather than just the 1x1. But having all shapes for stone, because stone is a remarkably good material. There's also this really quite awesome reinforced decking, which utilises, well, it looks like wood, but has a bit better strength, and it's more of a mid-cost, something I have wanted for a while, because, well, you either go from 1 to 5, there's nothing in between. The alloy and metal are the same price. Well, there's rubber in between, but come on, that's rubber, it's horrifically weak. Heavy armour's had a little bit of... Has heavy armour had a change? Had a cost change at all? Was it 40 reduced down to 20 and now back up to 25 or something? Perhaps. Oh, can't... Let's get off a thought so we can actually have a look at the propulsion. Apparently there's some changes to some of the propulsion, which is interesting. Let's put it on... a tank. Let's hover it up. So, heat propellers, circular, that's the same. Air pump, paddle. The vein. I thought there was something regarding using steam power for directly powering these things. As well as that done via these rudders. Air jets, custom jets, and that all seem the same. Just set though, a little bit prettier, of course. Wings. Probably as awkward as ever to utilise. Stabilizer, loop switch, yeah, nothing new there. Though the wheels apparently have suspension, which is quite cool. I think if you actually select them, ooh, yes, there's yeah, so there's spring forces, spring lengths, fine. Oh, steam propellers, part of steam engines. Brilliant. I do like this new drive system here. It means that all my designs have broken. I need to actually reset all these things, but this is such a nice, powerful thing. Really confusing initially, but it's really powerful, and once I got used to it, it's looking quite cool. So I fixed up one of my hovers so it actually functions. Vehicle controller, blah blah blah. No need to change the... We do have the breadboard. Not entirely sure how this thing works, because yeah, there's a lot little controls here. So from what I've seen, a lot of people utilise this for matching height, which is a lot easier to do with this than it was with ACBs. So very nice improvement there. Resources. Don't think there's been any change at all in the resources. Has the everything looks about the same. Fuel engines, everything looks about the same. Steam engines, though, they have a large new boiler, the huge boiler control. Good grief, that is kind of junky. Firebox, steam, engine shaft. Ah, there's the propellers. Oh, AI version of breadboard. Cool. We can get her. It's interesting. And then large propellers. Okay, this I can get behind. But they're really expensive, but that means you can actually have a ship powered by a couple of propellers rather than like 100 or something. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this propeller thing. Even if it doesn't work, I really like the idea. So hopefully I'll be able to actually utilise that at some point in the design. Oh yeah, the giant missiles. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been about a year. I think my last design, edited design. I think I'm just gonna have a look at my documents from the depths. Mods, profile. So in the Quest for Nita, the last edited design was the 13th of the 7th, 2018. So, yeah, just shy of a year. It's been a while since I played the game. I played it the other day just to make sure the update actually functioned. Do drills work yet, or are they still useless? I bet they're still useless, aren't they? That's a shame. This thing, though, this is a big change. Missiles. So everything used to be essentially the medium missiles. They've had a huge buff in damage. There's now small gantries, which have 4 missiles and 4 components, and then the huge missiles, which are basically like guided cram cannons. Insanely space efficient, so kind of powerful in that regard, though expensive. Cram cannons, I think there's been a probably change in some of this actual costing. Probably 8 million changes to the bomb chutes, there always is. Oh yeah, I know they're a lot more expensive. I found it quite amusing that one of my craft which I was working on, where is it? I probably it was like a missile one. I think it's in my work in progress. Yeah, the missile frigate. This was designed to be a cheap starter craft, and it used to be around about, I think it was around about 20k at the time. It's now 90. It's made out of wood, but because it has a load of missiles, it's kind of pricey now. The same goes for one of my drones. Well, this used to be a cheap drone for mass production, round about, well, used to be about, I think it was 1,200 materials. It's now 8,000, yeah. Mine was exactly, yeah. I know what you mean by some of the stuff. You can actually tell by the designs I utilised in Let's Play. So the Leander was my, I think it was my 20k or 15k design. I think it was actually a 15k. Yeah, because the other thing was the, yeah, that was the 30k, and see that's gone up a load. Leander was, I'm sure it was only 15? I don't know if it was 15 or 20 in the end. But yeah, the one which I had with the missiles is twice the price. And it's actually not that good, because these missiles are terrible. they're strong, but it just doesn't have anywhere near enough munitions, which I believe is the case for quite a few of the campaign craft. They've just not been updated. Where's the Manta? Oh, yeah, it was your Manta, wasn't it? Friendlies. So I know you had that down at 15. That's, yeah, it went up a little bit. It must have been the heavy armor or something. I didn't have much heavy armor, but it must have gone up. The Manta, 15k. Oh, good grief. Yeah. 6,000 more materials. Just because of those little torpedoes sitting at the bottom. On the plus side, does it actually kill things? So, go back to the Onyx Watch. Let's do it against the Kingstead. I seem to remember it was pretty darn good because it couldn't get targeted in any sense. Let's have a look at these torpedoes. So 4 torpedoes go in. Okay, that's a problem. The missiles are back to being flung off course when they detonate near each other. It means only 1 out of the 4 even hit. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Where's that Manta? Oh, there it is. Oh, I find it quite difficult to see through the water, isn't it? Any sort of angle, barely see under the water. Probably have to adjust that in the custom campaign. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know I really like the new missile interface. Still not completely convinced with the missiles, but yeah, 12,000 missile explosive damage is kind of insane. Quite expensive, mind. Real-time ammo cost. I do love this interface, just pure everything about it. I really hope this actually gets added onto all of the weapon systems in the game. This actual just stat interface. I love numbers. You know, there's a reason why I have a ton of various spreadsheets dedicated to explaining absolutely everything, which will be out of date. I should really update those. But no, it's not really killing the Kingstead. The Kingstead doesn't have much of a chance. Whoa, that's some of these effects need to be toned down a little bit. Oh yeah, spreadsheets are amazing. But yeah, the APS one will be wrong, won't it? Because there was a change to APS, wasn't there? Don't the actual firing pieces act as 5 coolers or something? Well, let's actually pull up my weapon platform, because I want to have a look at some of the missiles in a little bit more detail, because they look kind of fun. Bring that down. Oh, even more. Goodness, 7 or 8. Yikes. Yeah, I definitely need to update the spreadsheet then. I think the calculations are correct, so long as you just take that into account. Oh, decorations. When you looked at this. Mimic. That's awesome. The fact that you can make it actually have the health of other blocks. That's awesome. So much of my sub-objects, so making things look pretty. For example, my laser turrets, like this sort of thing. Or even that one. This is a rather cool looking turret, two-axis turret, but yeah, come on. The turret piece costing 11,000, it's just not worth it. However, basically half that at least with just using mimics everywhere. That is really cool. Doors. Doors and hatches. Ooh, metal doors. Fancy, fancy. Armoured hatches. Cool. Vertical doors. Nice. Ladders. Oh, so you don't have to do this janky step thing anymore. Can't you just put ladders on things? And truss. Nice. Very nice. And does truss float? Yay! Truss floats. Fantastic. And has low drag, so basically put that around stuff and make it. Okay, I'm going to be making truss airplanes. One thing I did notice though with the missiles, you still only have the reversed medium launcher, because I do like reverse missiles. It's kind of fun. Missions there. The AI breadboard. Cool. Anyway, let's play around with some missile stuff. It's taking me a while to get used to the whole highlighting thing, but it is quite cool being able to see when things are and aren't working. But at the same time, if you are doing anything decorative, it's a right pain, because everything just glows the wrong colour. Better steps? Really? So the small missile launcher, everything that's quite cool. They actually have components within the initial block. But it doesn't mean you kind of only need to do that, and you've got a... Well, I'm going to make myself a missile. One thing I was thinking of, though, is when looking at this, you have the the laser designator, so you can target the receiver. However, isn't that basically the same as the actual the beam rider, the remote guidance? Which the remote guidance, just because they both aim at the ship's detection, but obviously remote guidance just seems to do it better because it can't get spooked. Seems odd, but maybe I'm just missing something. Let's play around with some missiles. So this is 4 missiles, variable thrusters. Oh, that isn't very fast. Max speed 70. What's the short range thruster? Short range thrusters are a lot faster, aren't they? Interesting. Put the remote guidance there. Another fuel tank to get myself the 5-second duration there. Oh, signal jammer technically counts as remote guidance. That's interesting. Turn rate. What is a good turn rate, though? Huh. So I'll be playing around with remote guidance for now, because remote guidance is perfect for me, because I'm controlling them directly. The bastion, and let's turn this around. Okay, my LAM system leaves something to be desired. Okay, 16,000 explosive damage on a single missile launcher. That seems really strong. A single small missile launcher. Oops. Perhaps if I actually aimed it correctly. So what's 16? Let's just make sure amount of damage. Wow. Yeah, 20k on this little setup. Then again, this setup is expensive, because that's... Yeah, that's it's like a 2,000 cost weapon system, this, which is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, the block efficiency of missiles is kind of obscene because, yeah, this is like a decent-sized cram cannon. It's a small missile launcher. What's the medium launcher like? Actually, let's go for the rails. This is interesting. Time. Let's do short-range thruster. You just go pure explosives. Because everyone likes explosives, right? 20,000 explosive damage. This just feels evil. It's because I'm just used to the old missile setups, but yeah, it seems kind of crazy. Fire that, and 47. Good grief. This is a single missile, but again, it's so expensive. Just something like Glau or Ashes, where you have block limits, this is going to be kind of insane. Yeah. Yeah, the balance is kind of all over the place, isn't it? But everything else, you know, in order to get to that sort of damage, has a huge footprint as well. You know, yes, it has ammo, but it seems to have the damage of cram, but the ammo consumption of APS, so... And then go for the ridiculously huge launchers as well. Which... Good grief, these are big. I barely even need to... I have just a short-range thruster... Few fuel tanks. Actually, remote guidance, so just have a tiny little bit of... I need a couple of fins. Remote guidance and 3 fuel tanks. This is kind of getting a long missile here. $40,000 damage per warhead. It's intense. Yikes. 120,000 there. But, okay. Let's just line this up, because I don't think it's going to be able to turn any sense, is it? Yeah, say ammo consumption it's extreme, but APS ammo consumption is kind of ridiculous as well, and that doesn't normally have the same level of power. This is self-guided crams. Yep. Self-guided crams, and which is cool. I do like the idea of self-guided crams. It's just... I'm finding the fact that the block count being low and... Well, yeah, it's the ammo consumption is high, but you can still basically make suicide craft which are armed with just one shot. Because, well, do you really need more than one shot? I guess then it's essentially like a kamikaze craft though, isn't it? They're always pretty good. It's actually slightly too fast, this thing. So, let's add another fins in. Reloading is slow, but... What's the detection range on this? Detection range, okay, 2 kilometers. I suppose this missile is bigger than most ships, but, there's also a ridiculous amount of damage. Oh, apparently it's AI dead. Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. Suicide craft 30 to 50k, but it's also the sort of suicide craft which it could fire, and then you could despawn it to get the resources back, like instantly in game. There is a lot of ways to choose this. Let's line a shot up for the bastion. Barely aiming thing at all. Fire one shot. Not as devastating as its size would suggest. You know, as I say, as the whole craters the entire ship. But you know, self-guided cram. One thing I'm going to do is, one of my old favourites is the reverse launch pad. Hopefully this still works. This is one of my favourite types of missiles. Just because they look really quite cool. Five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I need probably 2 of the actual ejectors on each one. And then actually make the missiles. Not variable thruster. It needs to be a short range thruster with a start delay of 2.5 seconds. Then requires a 1 turn. I'll probably give it a active radar seeker. Explosives. These probably need to be a little bit longer, but we'll see if they still function. So they all go like so. And then they dive straight down upon the target. Reverse vertical is so cool. If you get it set up right, it's just an awesome sight to behold. To do that. They kind of launch on the ground. Or they just, you know, strike from the sky like that. That's why I like them. Couple launch pads. So using the 1 turn, they just all get into the air like so, and then they launch directly at their target. Like so. That's why I like reverse launch. It seems so much cooler than the, well, correct vertical launch. Because they aim directly at the target. If you try the same missile with normal, actual vertical launch, it just doesn't seem to have the same bite to them. We'll just set it all up exactly the same way. Superfine, copy tool, launch pads. Bastion. They launch a lot higher, but then they arc over, which means they actually miss the target because they don't have enough time to turn. If it was a variable thruster, I think it might be okay. So ramp time, set that to about 3 seconds. Ah, you can do a, yeah, you can do a start delay. Cool. Okay, let's actually try the vertical with the variable thruster then. And they do arc quite nicely. I just don't think it doesn't have quite the same appeal as the other one. Oh yeah, internal space hates you. I forget about the internal space. Yeah, because the one turn has a lot of free internal volume, doesn't it? Which is quite cool. I do really like that feature. That certain things have extra internal space. These are quite stupid numbers, really, for such tiny little missiles. But then again, this would basically be a main weapon system of a ship. But at the same time, that block count compared to all of this, and these weapons are nowhere near as powerful. Let's just add an AI onto this so we can watch it do nasty things. Oh wait, I've got no detection. Have I got detection prefab? Probably. Oh, detector array, that'll do. Ugh. Function over form, I guess. Wait, did I put the wrong thing down? I put mainframe, didn't I? Not that LOC. Wow, newbie. Yes, they do seem to arc quite nicely there. Yeah, you know, it's fine. Now, problem I'm wondering though is fast things. Hello, Tachyon. You're a pain. Yeah, Tachyon's that's a lot of medium missiles. And these missiles just don't have anywhere near enough oomph to get remotely close to the darn thing. Well, they did, but they ran out of fuel before they managed to kill it. And this is gonna... Yeah, the Alpha Strike on the AI designs is so ridiculous at the moment. Because it can really only afford to launch a couple of its missiles in one go. Now, after that initial barrage... So, fighting the AI currently is just a... But rather than... You can't really outlast them, they will kill stuff on the initial barrage, and then the fight goes a lot slower. And having the game purely on Alpha Strike is just... That's not good. Need to actually adjust loads of the AI designs, I feel. Yeah. Well, as of the previous two, I'm actually quite happy to edit loads of campaign designs. It's just... I'm not that good at balancing the game. But the thing is, I know I'm not very good, so I don't really try. I know when things are imbalanced, and I can edit them slowly, but I can't just look at a design and go, yeah, this is imbalanced. But I have a feeling that we have quite a few in the community which are like that. They just don't realise that limitation. What I was going to do, I was going to mess around with something else. Oh yeah, I wanted to make a vertical launch, a huge missile. Is this a thing which we can be doing? Because that sounds evil, if it is. Controller. Well, yeah, no, it's all a lot of things for one person, but variable thruster. 8,000 thrust. That's quite a lot of thrust. Start delay. Give it 3 seconds. Actually, just give it a short range thruster with 3-second delay. And the big thing you need is a higher turn rate. G, then fuel tanks. Good grief, this is... This bomb is getting quite large. Give remote guidance and then... Just... Yeah. What is a pure frag nuke like? I'll put a little bit of explosive in there for good measure, right? A little bit of explosive. Okay. Oh yes, turning thrusters. I forgot those were a thing. Could just use all of them. I just want to see what this does to something. Telemarkers. Let's actually throw something with a bit of health at this. Oh, good grief. Bye. That did not work. That did not work as planned. Boring. Yeah, all turning thrusters is bad. Yeah. Well, it was funny. Take like an hour to reload this thing now, won't it? No guidance. Honest. Nah, it doesn't. I misclicked on something. Where did I put the guidance? Ooh. It was this one I meant to do. Remote guidance. And also what would probably help would be ejectors. Does this actually count as multiple ejectors? How many ejectors does it have? No matter. We'll find out. Nope, that turning is not good enough. Bye. Have it turn really far. An activation delay. Put that on 3 seconds. Time to learn how to play the game again. Should turn all the way up. And then arc down, and still not quite enough. Oh, so you think I should have a little bit of delay? I'll put fins on it because I think it's using all the fuel, isn't it, to actually do this. Oh, darn it. That stupid thing breaking my ship. Wait for it to finish repairing. Why won't it let me build there? Weird. Okay, we should be able to repair the whole thing in one fell swoop now. Let's actually delay it more. I suppose because I can actually delay it a really long time, couldn't I? There's a repair widget? I could turn off their firing, I suppose. Let's turn off their AI. Come on, turn. Oh, it's actually gliding in. That's kind of pitiful, to be honest. That was really bad. Doesn't reducing the angle though reduce the damage? I thought that 90. I thought it was like over 90 was still mathematically better, or is it not? I actually have to look at the repair things. Oh yeah, debug repair. We had things like that. Debug EMP, explosion. Something else I needed to add on. Can you actually still see what's, the pathing? Because wasn't that a debug item? Anyway, let's launch this thing and see how it works this time. Arc's over. Not turned particularly well, but certainly from the top. Still not a particularly nasty amount of damage, but yeah. Oh! Ah, yeah. Thank you. Nice. And this, if it was pure EMP, explosive, what on earth is the explosive damage like? Launch up. Arcs around really, really sedately. And then straight in on the top. Now that's a big explosion. At the same time, though, for the price of this weapon system, that is nowhere near as enough damage, I don't think. But they have a lot of potential, I think, these large ones. I'm thinking more using them as more of a bomber craft, so having them underslung, like one or two on a fairly large craft, just having them like self-guided bombs, potentially under thrust, so rather than just APN bombs. I think it'd be quite good. And let's aim right there. Also though, a big missile like that is really quite cool. And get a lot of quite nice potential. Yeah, just not as much damage as I would hope for a missile that size. Oh, it's still doing the duplicating bug thing. Okay. Of course it is. Missile, staggered fire. And then let's add on some of you little ejectors. Variable thruster, thins, fuel tanks don't need anywhere near as many of those. One turn. I really need all of these. APN guidance, and then one turn. And dumbfire missiles. Sounds remarkably like a system which was proposed almost 2 years ago, essentially having all weapons under the same moniker. So all that missiles would be a missile, would be, you know, just a guided APS kind of weapon. So everything was based on APS, then lasers were just an instant hit one, you know. It sounded like a decent idea at the time. Variable thruster, let's give it a start delay of, I don't know, 3 seconds. Just per second, from 0 to 300. So these have a lot lower than there. Lifetime 10 seconds. Thrust duration is actually a little bit long. Oh, that's because they're using it for fuel. Thrust duration 10 seconds, its lifetime is 10 seconds, so it's actually doesn't need to be that long. It needs to be about 8 seconds because of its lifetime. I'm interested to see how this lot of missiles works though. They all arch in. Right, so that's not a perfect there, so you're forgetting to, you know, actually add on some form of detection. Do a good old infrared seeker on the thing. See, The amount of damage dealt by that was really quite insane, considering it's a very, very, very small system. 3 launchers. And it's actually digging through the target. 80,000, but that dug through the target compared to a single huge missile. Let's have a look. Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to mess around with stuff. Body. Durable component increases impact damage. They have no internal space. But they will make you a more impact. So you can actually have impact on all of them, which is quite cool. So launch those up. So destroy enemy vehicles. Let's see how this actually fares against something which flies. Again, put my fugly detector array on. Planes. Oh no, Stinger Mark 2. Oops, helps if I put an AI controller on. There, and then what's signal jammer? Into his electronics. Cool. So let's see how it fare against an actual craft. Okay, that's kind of brutal. I think only 2 missiles hit the Stinger and it blew up. Yeah. Yes, but what's nasty? Probably a Barracuda. It's got a lot of flares and stuff. Let's see how the missiles actually function. So they basically ignored the flares and hit directly at the Barracuda. Okay. I need to work on my defensive platform because my defense platform no longer has, well, enough defenses to keep it alive. It used to be able to weather most storms, but there's been changes to shields or something. Oh no, it's got to... yeah. Oh! I think I only put 1 layer of shielding on this. That would explain it. Seriously, Deepwater Guard have inertial fuses on their... Deepwater Guard have inertial frag. That's mean. Oh. Alright, so there's no more, like, spamming a few little flares. You need to go big or go home. Oops. Kind of disappointing, really, because that means you can't just build some defenses. You'd have to really focus, and which is good and bad. It's good in the sense that, you know, if you know what you're facing, you can counter it. However, that's not how the campaign vehicles work, is it? Well, that's useful to know. Unfortunately, with small vehicles, if you're doing countermeasures on the missiles, that puts their price up so much. Still long to be small, I guess, but Yeah. Those all same and good. There's my big... one of my turrets that still works, doesn't it? But this thing still works ridiculously well. Do you actually have any ammo? No, you don't. Okay. Charge. Head, there we go. It wasn't shape charge, was it? It was squash head. I think this thing still works as it used to. Don't imagine why not, though its rate of fire is probably potentially higher now. Just wait for it to reload these racks. The rack is loaded. Come on, load up. Come on, fire. So reload at accuracy. Could actually probably increase the rate. Yeah, that's firing quite a bit faster. It's got a lot more coolers on now, doesn't it? Yeah, cooldown 0.21. That's interesting. I could actually re-Tetris this and maybe... Actually, I don't think I could squeeze in anything else. This is pretty tight, as it were. That one. Reduce the size of these things. Not the main block. I just want to shrink the... Oops. That's one thing I'm not barely going to get used to. There we go, it's actually working again. Right. If I found. Importantly, does this still work? I bet it still works there. Barrel cooling down. Oh yeah. That works, but yeah, the damage is nothing compared to those little missiles earlier, was it? Yeah, missiles are insane. That's a decent amount of damage, but this is also a really quite expensive firing piece to have going down on the belt blasters. Where is it? Well, actually, not really. 3,000. It's about the cost of that missile launcher earlier, but you can see the size of this is so much larger. And effective range is honestly about the same. It's pretty short range, this. Are there many campaign designs which have been balanced for the new meta? And actually, well, just balanced. And full stop, let alone for any of the new stuff. Unfortunately, Deepwater Guard suffer from the fact that loads of them are armed with the simple cannons, which are still buggy nightmares as far as I can tell. From what I can tell, the memory leak still exists with them, which is just so annoying. Not that one's trying to me. Yes, see, I want to see how fast the new thing goes. There. My shielding is gone. Where are my shields? Apply to all, alpha, put down to 0. Apply to all, like so. Cool. Yeah, I noticed that stuff wasn't being reflected as much with my reflect shields. Kind of painful. But I'm now kind of intrigued as to how this propulsion system functions. We need to actually put it on a ship. So this is the only ship I had to hand. It used to be fairly cheap, but not anymore. I can put a steam engine in here, can't I? You're going to see how bad I am at building steam engines now. Because I do not build them. Then... not the gearbox. Reduction gear? Oh, how bad I am at this. Can't even find where steam engines are, I'm just not used to clicking on the button. That, and do pressure vent for good measure, because I can't remember how these things work, and I just don't want everything to explode instantaneously. This is fine. I know exactly what I'm doing, right? Oh, darn it. Reduction. This isn't working well, is it? Just put propeller on the end. Okay, like that. I'll attach to the steam engine. What? You sure I don't need one of these things? Or do I need a gearbox as well? I have no things how there's any of this works. It's fine. Keep meeting things until it works, right? Why are they not connected? Right. So it's still showing you as red even though nothing's happening. Right, so that bit's working. Engine shaft? Not connected. Gearbox, come on. Okay. Fantastic. Right. Something's working. Turn on. Start producing steam. Maybe. Why aren't you doing anything? Boiler, work, go. Why isn't it burning? I'm feeling really quite dumb at the moment. Nope, nothing seems to be happening. Because I'm not drawing anything. No material storage. Huh. Thought I had material storage on this ship. Weird. How does this vehicle work? Oh. Oh, was it one? I know, it must have been, it must have had global resources when it was designed. A gear. And steam engine. Gear. And then a propeller shaft. And then propeller. Just don't understand why it's saying it's not connected. Attached to a steam engine. What? Which way round does it go? Seems like it goes in that way. Then put propeller shaft. So it's pretty tight to such a reduction gear. They need to be shaft bearing or something? Well, if I move that, then it works. Which is fine, but I don't want the working on that. I want it working on the engine shaft. Before it's the engine shaft, just an extension of the engine shaft, right? Links the engine shaft to the propeller shaft, yeah. The generator, right. Don't want a generator. I don't get this. I'm gonna have to look at the tutorial thing, aren't I? What's so weird that it doesn't say which way around it is. Oh boy, steam engine guide, right. Next, 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 next. Right. Shaft generator, yep. Oh great. Doesn't actually tell you about the new system. Not connected. Cased crank. Maybe you actually have to have one of these engine shaft. Engine shaft bearing. Nope. See, that bit's fine. That bit works. Nope. Oops, twin gear thing cranks. Well, that bit's all fine. Please touch prototype to a reduction gear which attached to a steam engine shaft. A few cranks and pistons and it does say it. Maybe you do need a gearbox as well. Oh no, it is working. No, you were right. Sorry, I just screwed up. No, you're right, Aaron. So, me, I just... It's because what I did, I placed the gearbox here and I hadn't rotated the cranks round, which was what was causing the problem. Yep. It is because it was just because of these I hadn't actually rotated these round. You know, they've got both rotation, which has thrown me a few times actually with steam engines. I should have really realised. There's a bits of steam engine falling from the sky. This is decent. So how fast can this actually go? Max power produce rate. Okay, it can create a decent amount of force, it seems. Since you put a decent oil on it. What is the maximum it can create? So... moving out. I think I haven't got very good turning motion on this, have I? No, I don't. Let's add some turning thrusters on this. So it set itself up as a turner. Moving out. See how much thrust this can actually provide. And then a pressure vent. Oh, so it does require a shaft in between, it seems. You can't just directly connect to the crank either. So can create 4,000 power. That's a decent amount of thrust to get. It looks like it can go faster. Apply power scale. Main forward. Yeah, it's decent enough, but it seems decent enough, but at the same time, it's not exactly rocketing this thing forward at a rate of knots, is it? Moving out. Let's put a controller on it and see how fast if I was in a vehicle controller on it, because it could very well be that this design is relatively old now, and so it could just be messed up. Disable the movement. Speed to maximum, and yeah, it's not exactly cutting through the water at a huge pace, is it? Let's just cap that off. Speed is 6 meters per second. Yep, that's really not that quick. What's it like when I had it before? I think it was basically slow before. It was never as quick shit, but 12, yeah, it's 14, yeah. So still the Steam seems nice, but this is just 5 props, and it seems to be doing a lot better than that one system. Unless you have to go a lot larger system with more stuff, but at the same time, these just seem better. Of course, the best thing is just hovering bricks. They are by far the best things. And this was the one of the weakest designs. I cut the nose off it because I ran out of materials, and then, yeah, it ended up being a complete murder strike, because you hit it here and it just sank. It's a shame, 'cause I quite like the craft, but never mind. These things happen.